I am a personal stylist, and so I help women to level up their style game so that they look good, they feel good, and they are open to career building opportunities, right? Because when you look good, your energy shifts and it changes and you become magnetic. And so I really help women to figure out what their style is and how they can show up as the best versions of themselves.
100%. I love that. So this was why I wanted to get Renée onto Personal Branding Exposed, is because obviously I love all things personal branding, but I think how you show up online and offline is extremely important. And obviously there's a bit of an overlap because your offline activities, we're generally bringing them online to show our kind of digital audience what it is that we do in the real world as well. Can you talk to me a bit about what that process is? How do you find someone's style story you were talking about?
Oh, your style story. I think we all have a story, right? And what I believe is how we show up is our style story. When you think about it, our style is the first thing that people see of us. It's how we communicate who we are. It's how we tell the world who we are. And so with your style story, it's just like any other story. It's how you want to communicate. So I've actually created this framework that I help take my clients through, where you put all the elements of any story and interpret that into your style and really come up with a very clear, consistent, and confident story that is going to align with your brand. Because what I find, or what I know is, you can have your personal brand and you say you're all of these things, but when you show up, if it doesn't align, people really wonder like, it doesn't jive. And so they wonder, you're right, they wonder, is this really who this person is? She says, or she says, whether it's an employee on a resume or an entrepreneur, that they're detail oriented and all of these different things. But then when they show up, buttons are missing or they look disheveled. And so what they read or what you're trying to tell them and how you show up doesn't match. And people really start to wonder, who is the real person here? What am I buying into? What am I going to get? So the whole premise of your style story is, the first thing is to create a plan. It's like if you're writing a story, right before you get on and write your story, you want to be really very clear on how you want to show up. How are you supporting your brand? What do you want people to know about your brand? So we get very clear on these brand words that I'm sure you help them with as a branding expert. Help them with their brand words, what they want their brand to stand for. And so same thing with your style. So you translate those words into how you want to show up. Right. It's just like, and I love this example. If you were going to redecorate a room, you wouldn't just go out and buy a chair here, a rug. Oh, I like that mirror, and just buy things. You have a plan, right? You're very clear on how you want that room to feel. You're very clear on how you want to enjoy that space. You're very clear on how you want people to feel when they come into that space. And you know where the pieces are going to fit. So with your style, it's the same thing. You need to be very clear on who this next level woman is that you want to show up as. So we help them to come up with their words. And the next thing is every story has a scene, right? So it has a scene. This is where your story comes to life. And I just think it's so fantastic. Your scene is your closet, right? That is where you are able to really create the image that you want to share. So I have clients who, their closet is full, but they have nothing to wear, right? And that's because right? It's filled up with pieces that either no longer serve you, they don't fit. They fit you maybe 10 pounds ago, but you're really holding on to it.
They fitted before COVID.
Exactly. You're really holding on to it, or somebody gave it to you, don't want to get rid of it. But I really encourage women to make their closet be a space that's filled with things that they love. Because when you love them, you're going to wear them, right? So that's your scene. The next thing is you have a main character, right? That's the main character of your story. And of course, that's you. So you are the star of the show. So I help clients to really understand how to dress their bodies, understand their body shape, because even though your friend wears it, or it's in a magazine, or it's in the stores, it may not look the same on you, depending on where you carry your weight or even your style, your personality. So I go through this whole body shape thing on how to dress your body shape so that you accentuate your assets, balance out your proportions. And then we have your wardrobe and your costuming. If you watch any movie, everybody, and we wear clothes, right? And our clothes is our biggest communication tool. That's how we tell the world who we are. And you can tell a lot from a person by how they're dressed. You can tell from the movie if it's a more professional person, if their personality is outgoing and happy. And so we spend a lot of time really looking at their wardrobe and the clothing that they fit. And I really try to help my clients to kind of reframe or choice in clothes. People just think of, okay, clothes, I just need to put something on and go. But it's really so much more powerful than that, right? You can use your clothes to, and I say, to do the heavy lifting for you, to communicate who you are. And then the last piece is the supporting cast, which, if it was just a movie, just a story about you, it may be a little bit boring. But if you have the pieces and in a movie, you have a supporting cast, it gives you personality. It just does something else. And the supporting cast is wearing color and accessories, right? To really showcase your personality and knowing what colors work great for you, what colors are your best colors, whether you're warm undertones, cool undertones, because all of that comes into it. And when you put those elements together, it really allows you to craft a really clear style story that aligns with your personal brand. So clients love that. And I think it's really, really a powerful framework to implement.
I love that as well. I completely understand what you're talking about when you've got pieces in your wardrobe that excite you and you're happy to wear. So when you get that delivery off ASOS and, it comes in and everything fits, you're like, oh, great. I've got some pieces that I want to get out there and I want to show off, which is so exciting. But on the flip side, nothing worse than going in there and something that you used to love doesn't fit anymore. When you had, I had a blonde bob last year. Things that suited me last year don't suit me this year.
Exactly. And that is so true. And then our styles change, right? As we mature and we get older, our bodies change and styles change as well. And so, women, I just want to encourage them, they don't have to hold on to things because maybe they spent a lot of money on it or it was nice then. Just honor it for what it did for you back then, years ago. And just embrace what's new now, right? The styles are new. We have a new body, a new outlook, and just embrace that. And you can still look and feel fantastic.
Yeah. So what's your take on, should you have some classic pieces that are go-to that, are last forever type thing, and then, match them up with things that are like bang on trend this season type thing? Or is it about having a wardrobe that serves you right now? You don't need to worry about the classics.
Well, I think when you're building a wardrobe that's really functional and timeless, first of all, you want to look for things that you love, things that you like. And when I always encourage clients, when you're buying a piece, think of at least 3 ways that you can wear this item. Not just a piece that you like a color or this is a great style or it's on trend, but think of it like, okay, you can wear it at least 3 ways, because then you have versatility in your closet. It gives you options. And I'm all about the classics, right? Because I think they transcend time, and you always look on trend. And I'm not against trends. I just don't encourage you to fill your closet with trends because you're constantly rebuying. Whereas you can have a piece that is, current. I think more of it as being current. Right. And when you have classics, it's easy to make it a little bit current with maybe changing your accessories or having a new color of something. But I think you should really invest in classics and maybe 1 or 2 current on-trend pieces that you love. Because we want it to feel current, right? Nobody wants to feel outdated.
Oh, 100%. So it turns out my mom was right about that as well. So that can go in the list of things that she's been right about.
Yeah, moms are right.
Generally, but I hope she's not watching. Now, talking about styling, now you work with women predominantly. I know you've done a couple of men, but generally you will do the full wardrobe of women. Yes. That, I think, must be so much fun. I was at a business event. It was a business breakfast a couple of weeks ago now, and I've been going to this same business breakfast for years, and there's about 300 people generally will be in the crowd, and it's always been a wash of like navies and blacks because it's all businessmen in suits. I came up the escalators this morning and I don't know, it just was really weird because there was color coming at me. That, I think, is the most exciting thing that we have as women, is the fact that we are not curtailed to suits. Like, I know we fought really hard to get the suit and we can wear trousers like men, and that's brilliant. But we just have so much more flexibility when it comes to our style and individuality, because it's a suit's a suit.
Yes, exactly. And I encourage women to wear color, especially now when so much of our stuff is virtual. Wear color. It allows you to, there are several reasons. You know, if when you're wearing the right colors, they really brighten your face. You look alive, happy. Your skin even looks better, and it uplifts your mood. And also it's when people receive it differently when you're wearing color, and especially in this virtual space. When you're wearing color, you stand out, right? You can make your point, people hear you and see you, and you're memorable. And I find that is so important, especially now when we're not doing a lot of face-to-face. And so our ability to really project our personal brand and to be memorable, so people have us in mind. Oh yeah, she had this on, she had that on, instead of blending in with a sea of 10 black boxes on your Zoom call, right? It's your way of standing out. It's so powerful.
Yeah, I think that's important. Now, lots of people will listen to this show as opposed to be watching it. Now, Renée is sticking out like a sore thumb, like a lovely sore thumb, because she's got this beautiful red top on, and you're glowing. It looks beautiful. And if you do go on to Renée's Instagram and you flick through some of the styles that she has, you stand out. Like, that's, I think, what's important about it is you look great, you look confident, and you're standing out. But as we discussed just before we went live, my ring light's just making me look like I'm fading into the background here. So
I know
that fail for me.
Today. You know, and that's something else that I encourage women to do. Sometimes people want to just blend in; they don't want to stand out. But there's so much power in owning all of who we are. So much power in whatever is different about us, really owning that and standing up for that. It's refreshing to people, right? It's refreshing to see somebody, even if it's not your style, but whatever is different about you, to celebrate that. It gives people, that's where I always say, that's where you can stand in your power and feel like your entire self, and feel so authentic, be so authentically you. And people are like, wow, maybe they're thinking they couldn't do that, but it gives them the encouragement to do it for themselves and to also own all of themselves and all of their quirkiness, all of their differences.
Yeah, 100%. And I think I read recently something like 97% of our cues that we take from someone are non-verbal. So it's all that,
Yes.
And it's the first thing it's how they're holding themselves. It's the drink they're holding. It's where their feet are. It's the colors they're wearing. It's how they make us feel. So it's so important.
That is such a huge point, Megan, because that's a part of the presentations I do, is why is your style important? So many times, or I've heard people say, oh, your style is just superficial. That's not important. It should be about me. And I'm a good person. I'm a hard worker. I am all of these fantastic things. But what's really important is that people make decisions about us in the first 7 seconds of meeting us, right? And yes, sure, I'm not saying it's great to judge people. I'm not saying that, but as humans, that is what we do. We judge people. You see people, and within a few seconds, you judge them. And what are they judging people on? They're thinking, is this person trustworthy? Are they competent? Are they confident? Are they likable? So all of those things are really big things that are made in a split second, right? And it's so much easier to make the right first impression than it is to try to fix it. I think from the data, they need 21 more interactions for people to change their first impression, because we have this confirmation bias, right? Yeah. When people see make that first impression, their brain is looking for data to support that. And even if the first time they see you, it wasn't a great impression, if they see you after and it's different, they're still saying, yeah, but I don't know. When I met, they're just like, yeah. So it's really important.
just like it's it's very hard to build your personal brand with people that you went to high school with. Well, to have a new personal brand,
Yes.
because they still think of you as,
As,
you
yes.
were a
Nerdy.
big
Yeah.
geek, or you were in the band, whatever it is. You
Yes.
can't break away from that memory, because that's what people have of you. So it's the exact that you're so right. That first impression is like, that's what I think of the person, and we want to be right. So we start trying
Yes.
to
We want to be
formulate
right.
that story behind it.
Yes.
No, it's fantastic. That now
And
I
you had
want.
mentioned the nonverbal cues.
Mm,
Nonverbal cues are 4 times more impactful than anything we say,
yeah.
right? So it goes right into what we were saying about these split-second decisions.
Yeah, and the fact is that we don't actually even know that we're making those
No.
judgments. We're not,
Yes.
they're unconscious to us. It's
Yes.
actually a feeling.
Absolutely.
It's,
Yes.
I just didn't
Yes.
feel good about that person.
Exactly. They might have said, I just don't know. And they may not, it may not be, as you say, conscious, but it's just something there
Yeah.
that's like,
Yeah. Now, confidence is massive. Now, what you were saying earlier, where people will generally think, because that's a big part of personal branding, and what we both work in is, show up as your authentic self. And we don't want people to act. We don't want them to be someone that
no.
they're not. And sometimes it can feel like, oh, well, if I dress up, that's not really me. When it's not actually about that. It's about being comfortable, because that confidence piece is massive.
Absolutely. Oh, Megan, that is such a huge point, because I tell clients as well, yeah, it's not about, wearing the suit. If that is not who you are, if that's not who your brand is, that's not what you wear, right? You want to be comfortable and confident, right? Because when you're comfortable, you can stand up in and own all of your greatness. So we're right on the same page with that. It's all about your confidence.
Oh, yeah. I met up with someone that I had met on LinkedIn, and we met for a drink after work last week. And I had to quickly shower, and I didn't have time to dry my hair. Now, I never have my hair tied up. I've got a thing about my ears. A bit strange. I was so uncomfortable during our whole meeting, just because I liked my outfit and everything else was fine. It's just that confidence piece, because my hair was up. I was like, this is not natural for me. This is uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. And it changes when you're not feeling your best. It changes your energy, right? It changes how you show up. It changes, how you interact. And so I really encourage women to look good, take the time to look good, to feel good. I know we're all on virtual calls, and people may say, oh, it's not that important, it's just a call, but it is so important. It when you get dressed, it changes your energy.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, profile pictures on LinkedIn or any social media platform, so important, because especially at the moment, I mean, in Western Australia, we're very lucky, we're out and about, but a lot of places in the world, the first point of contact that you're going to have for the next little while with people is that profile picture.
Yes.
And you want to make sure that they're friendly, and that they look and dress and they feel because you have a feel that comes through that picture.
Yes.
Look like the
Absolutely.
person you wanna do stuff with, you wanna collaborate, work with,
Yes.
Yeah.
And talking about that, sometimes because what I've been doing on LinkedIn is trying to schedule, quick 15-minute connects with people, some of my network, just to get to know them a little bit better.
Yeah.
And I call it bringing my LinkedIn network to life. But sometimes I'm shocked, because the LinkedIn picture looks nothing like the person that I am meeting. And I'm like, completely different. So I encourage you, your LinkedIn picture is just, yes, it throws you. LinkedIn picture is just a nicer, elevated version of you, but it should look like you.
I always talk with clients about how building your personal brand for your professional career is the exact same as online dating. It just is. Nobody wants to be catfished. Nobody wants to be ghosted. So, someone sends you a message on LinkedIn, reply to it. If you're going to put some pictures or images up, make sure you look like that, so that when you turn up to this first date, that you look like the person they were expecting. Because people feel duped. It's just that kind of, you've tricked me with this picture that's 10 years old. What else isn't quite right with you?
Yes, that is it, right? Because you're wondering, what else? Such a good point. But that's happened to me so many times. And I'm like, who is this person?
The wrong call.
Yes, exactly.
So do you work alongside photographers and actually style people for the day, or do you just work with them and get their wardrobe sorted and off they go?
Well, usually I work with them, yeah, from their closets, so with their wardrobes, and we work with that. And then I've had some photographers that I've worked with, like they were doing a shoot for like a magazine shoot, and so I've been the stylist on their shoot for them. So
Yeah.
I've done a bit of both.
Oh, excellent. No, I think that's a important part of the whole brand identity, and getting your brand photos and stuff is actually it's one thing for you to know what colors you like wearing and stuff, but to matching them together and making sure that those pictures really paint that picture of you is
Yes,
important too.
absolutely. And also your pictures showing you doing some of the work that you would do, right, for your everyday, right? And that it really showcases your personality. And so those branding pictures really are so important.
Yeah, and you've got some clothes that look amazing in real life and don't look so great on picture.
It's such a good point. They just don't translate, right?
No.
They don't translate well in pictures. So yeah, even for your virtual calls, I always suggest that people do a dry run. So they try it on and then they sit in it and they put it on and look at the camera, because sometimes, it may bunch up at the top, or the buttons may gape, or the V is too low, whatever it is. You want to be sure you do a test run before your actual call, what have you, to see how it translates.
I think I need to get you to style me for the rest of these personal branding exposed shows that I've got. I'll just have a go-to on a Tuesday night. That will be what I stick on, because Renee told me that's my thing.
That's fun.
So Renee, talk to us about, because you're from the corporate world, how did you end up doing this?
Oh, yes. So, yeah, as you said, so I'm from pharma. So built my career over 20 years in the pharmaceutical industry. Started in Atlanta in the US, promoted to country manager in the Caribbean, and then most recently in Canada. And I led as a national sales director, led a team of reps across Canada, promoting and launching a new product into the Canadian space. And, I was very successful, did well for these brands and these companies. And then one day I looked around, I reached the top of my mountain. And as I said in my bio, I looked around and I'm like, oh my God, I'm on the wrong mountain. I just no longer enjoyed what I was doing. It was no longer, I just felt I could play a bigger role. I could impact women and really help women more. And I was miserable. My home on Sundays just was not a good place, because the next day was work. And I didn't want my children to have that as their memory of mom. I still yell at them from time to time, but Sundays aren't as scary as they used to be.
Yeah.
So I decided, I said, I've loved fashion and style. It's something that I've done for a long time, in terms of I'd help some of my friends in university get ready for going out, even as most recently as a sales manager, to take some of my reps shopping, to put their looks together for work and to be presented to create their wardrobe. And I said, and I did this when I was a little girl with my mom. We'd go to beauty contests and pageants, and we were always shopping, and people would always come to me for help. And I said, this is what I love. If I can marry my corporate background and how I can help women with what I love, my fashion and style, and really help women to look good, feel good, because I knew the power that looking good does for me. And how it's like you put on an armor when you're getting ready to battle type thing, but it shifts your confidence in what you feel that you can accomplish. And I said, if I can help women this way, this is what I wanted to do. So I stepped away from corporate about 2 years ago to launch my business, Let's Get Dressed Now. And so this is what I do. So I help, I work one-on-one with women from their closets. And usually it's women who are in some type of transition.
Yeah.
So whether it's they're progressing on the corporate ladder up to a new role and they know they want to show up differently. Women who, just got a divorce, or they just got married, or they gained weight, or they lost weight, or they're in a style rut and they know that they're just not showing up 100% as their best selves. Usually those are the clients who reach out and who I can help. And then entrepreneurs as well, right? Especially like people who are working on their brand or rebranding. They also have, we also work and help them. I help them.
Is there more than you? Is it a team, or
No, it's me. I am the team.
Awesome? I love that.
I
But
am the team.
do you have a background team helping with some of your social media or some background stuff, and you are 100% just in the styling, or you're doing everything?
No, it's me, everything. I am 100% the solopreneur who does everything. So all
Love
the social media, all the posts, all the LinkedIn, all the Instagram, and then also with my clients.
I
Yes.
love it. If you're not
Yes.
already following Renée on LinkedIn, make sure you are, because you put out some amazing content there. I'm always,
Thank you.
and it's so bright. I'm scrolling, and I'm a big fan of LinkedIn. LinkedIn's my home. Like, I do a lot of LinkedIn training. I think there's a lot of value on it, but I must admit sometimes it can be a little bit dry, and you're scrolling through, and I will see some of your content, and I'll be like, that's brightening my day today.
Oh, that's awesome. Megan, I'm so glad you said that, because I was a little afraid. I'm like, I wonder if when I use my picture and if that's okay for LinkedIn, because you have this mindset that LinkedIn is business and this, but then I've come to realize that, you know what, this is me. This is my brand. This is what I do. And
Yep.
women are wearing clothes. They are working. They are trying to progress professionally or just feel good and look good. So I said, you know what? I am going to post anyway, and who it serves, let it serve. And if it doesn't serve you, that's fine as well.
I love it.
I just really want it to be authentic to me.
Your LinkedIn has to just be your digital extension of you. And that is, if that was who I was going to meet, if I was up in Toronto, then that's who I want to meet on LinkedIn.
Awesome. That's great. That's great.
Now, I want to talk to you about the color red on women. Now, I read and looked into styling and some colors and branding and stuff like that recently. And one of the things that I read about was that the color red is a very powerful color, but can be really off-putting for other women to come towards other women. So if you're not scared of a woman in red, then you're also a power woman, but you're in the 10%. Talk to me about what red is doing for women, to women.
Yes. So this is a fuchsia color. It's probably showing up to you as red, but this is fuchsia, just so you know, like a pink color. But red, I saw that same data that you're talking about, and I think it's so true. So red is a power color. A lot of people wear red and they feel energized by it. But there's this whole thing about color psychology and how other people read you when you're wearing certain colors. So just as you said, red can be seen as as aggressive. So it's passionate. It can be seen as aggressive, and there's quite a few connotations or feelings that come up with red that are not good. So you think about the situations that you're in where how you want people to feel when you're wearing red. So that point about women. So I've heard another stylist say that if she's going to a meeting where there are men, she's going to wear red because men like to see women in red.
Yep.
But if she's going to a meeting, a pitch or what have you, or a presentation where women are going to be there, she does not wear red, because women, as you said, don't like to see other women in red. I'm not sure and I think so if I remember the study correctly, the data is that when they see red, like they feel that you think you are going to you're going to be too assertive or too bossy or too aggressive with them.
Yeah.
So that is
intimidation and
yes. So there's that thing with red. I know for some it's their power color and they wear it, but you really have to consider your audience. Just like anything that you wear, you consider your audience and the feeling that you want them to have.
Yeah, because the red thing, when I read that, I thought, I love red, and I don't think of anything with women in red. I'm like, that's pretty cool. And I had put it out on Instagram and did a bit of a poll out and said, are you intimidated by women in red? And the 60% of people voted yes, or 60-something% voted yes, they were intimidated. And I was like, that's so funny. And then into the direct messages, there was a lot of messages saying, yeah, I am. Like, I never thought about it, but when when I think about it in terms of this poll, yes, I don't like women in red. And then I spoke to some of my friends and they were like, no, love red. And I'm like, yeah, because you're power women. Like
Yes.
my tribe are these women who are not assertive, but they know what they want and that is their thing. So they're not intimidated by it. So it does show that there's something there.
There's something there with red. There is something there. But I'm surprised that people actually admitted it, because I thought maybe people didn't realize that they had this subconscious thing about red. But red, yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple of screenshots of women in red, mainly Hillary Clinton, because she comes up in red a lot, wearing red, and said, you know, what do you think when you see these women? Are you intimidated or what? And they were like, yeah, they're a bit powerful and scary and intimidating looking. So
Wow.
yeah. So key takeaway
there.
If you are someone in business who is trying to attract women clients, stay away from the red. If you are a woman but you are trying to attract male clients, go for it.
Yeah.
Just not too much skin.
Not too much skin. I was going to say that was it. Not too much skin. And the data bears that out, which I really never thought about. We knew the feelings with red of being aggressive and passionate and assertive, but I didn't realize how different it was that women versus men, how that's received.
Yeah. No, it's really interesting. I love all that stuff.
Yes, I love that.
Any other little tips and tricks for anyone listening on what colors they should maybe try out, or styles? What's hot right now?
Well, hot right now and what's trending. Oh, you're Australia, we're Canada, so we're flipped. So for fall, for us, what we're seeing now is, you know, leather, lots of those skirts with sweaters and slouchy sweaters. Metallics are trending now. So I guess for you, your summer, blues and greens are beautiful. Pinks, right? So, you know, I love color.
Yeah.
And color, I think you can do so much and just, you know, change their vibe, change your mood. You know, one thing I can share is it's about putting an outfit together. Putting an outfit together. I find that sometimes women struggle with that easily. And I have 3 steps that I usually share with clients that I think really help them to get an outfit together quickly and out the door. And it's 3 pieces. The first piece, you want to have a basic piece. So that's a piece that is just, you know, a pair of black pants, a pair of dark denim, or just a basic white button-down shirt. So you have a basic piece. And then you have an interest piece. So of course, as the name suggests, something interesting about that piece. So whether it is puffy sleeves or...
that's my thing right now. I love the big sleeves.
Yeah, I'm loving this trend. So whether it's puffy sleeves or a bright color or a pattern or texture, but there's something interesting about this piece. It could be a wide leg pants. So that's your second piece. That's your interest piece. Now you're fine to go out and leave the house in just these 2 pieces, no problem. But what I find is really the kicker that really elevates your look is what I call which is the third piece, which I call the completer piece. And that can be a belt. It can be great accessories. It can be a blazer, a jacket, just something on top of the second piece. And I find that completely changes your look. It elevates your look. It ties your whole look together and really punches it up a notch. So with those 3 pieces, every time, if you do that every time, you'll leave the house feeling fabulous. So a base piece, a basic piece, an interest piece, and a completer, third piece.
Oh, I love that. Are you a big fan of the capsule wardrobes as well? Trying to make as much?
I like the idea of making as many outfits from a very curated piece. I'm not a strict capsule person. I don't have a capsule, but I help clients to build a capsule, especially those who really, you know, want versatility and want to extend their wardrobe, because sometimes some people build capsules and it's boring, right? It's like these neutral tones or it's the same colors. When I build a wardrobe, I start with, you know, 2 bottoms, 3 tops, and I really try to start with a top that has pattern or color, and then the 2 other pieces to pull from that. so that from those, and then an over piece, and then from those 6 pieces, you can get 12 pieces, 12 outfits. So it really, and then when you add your accessories to that, sorry, when you add your accessories, then it gives you even more. And when you include your wardrobe basics, you have even more. So I'm not a strict capsule person, but I try to incorporate that within when I'm building a wardrobe or building a closet for clients, because I find that they get more versatility and they're able to, extend their offerings. I'm really about investing in pieces that you're not constantly buying pieces and wasting money. Invest in pieces that look good on you, that you love, and that you can wear at least 3 different ways. And when you build your wardrobe around that, you create outfits and not just random pieces. And when you have outfits, then it gives you much more usability and variety, and it extends what you can do in your wardrobe.
Oh, love that.
Yeah.
I do. I like the idea of a capsule wardrobe because it's great to work with someone like you, Renée. But a month later, I'm going, oh, what next? But if I've got a few things I know can mix and match,
exactly,
it keeps you going as well, I think.
Yes, and it's so much easier in the morning when you have your capsule. I say together. You know that any top and any bottom will work. You don't have to say, oh, this doesn't look good, or try this on. But whether it's a skirt, you have your skirt, your pants, whatever it is, beforehand. Any top goes with any bottom, and you have 12 different ways that you can wear this. At least the ones that I build. So it's empowering, and it saves time, and it definitely saves money.
Yeah, I love that. Thanks, Renée. Now, you obviously work with women in Toronto, but do you also work with people virtually?
Oh, absolutely.
Excellent.
I have clients all over the world, and especially with, and I was doing virtual styling even before COVID, but definitely now since COVID, I have clients all over Antigua, Jamaica, the UK. So all over with the.
Maybe some in Australia after this.
Yes, hopefully that would be awesome. That would be awesome. So I use a platform where, sorry, I give my clients a virtual closet. So they can upload the pieces that they have in their closet that they want me to work with. Then I'll shop around and find pieces that I think would be awesome to extend their current wardrobe or to add to, so that they have more options. I put them in, and then I create a lookbook for clients as well, putting their pieces, what I find, and then creating outfits. Some of my clients like it, like I do it for a month. And so each day they know exactly what they're going to put on, so they're not struggling in their closet. And it makes it so much easier. And then when I do that, the things that I find, they have the shoppable links right there, so they can shop right from the link and it arrives at their door.
I love this. Right. You're doing meal planning for someone's outfit. It's meal planning for your outfit.
There you go. Exactly. And it's so right. It's so easy. I do all the work. You sit on your couch and you say, yeah, like that. Order that, and it arrives. And that, with the closet edits as well, virtually, my clients just put their cameras up in their closet. We go through, they try on or not. We go through if it fits. I talk about their body shape with them. And it's really awesome that I'm able to reach. It's really awesome that I'm able to reach clients all over the world. And it's like I'm right there. I'm in your back pocket, right? Really giving good style advice. So it's amazing. It's awesome.
Back pocket stylist. I love it.
Yes.
That's amazing, Renée. I love that. I'm going to put all of your links down into the show notes so people can actually get in touch with you. But in case anyone isn't interested in looking at the show notes and they're just listening, do you want to just quickly tell us how people can find you online?
Yes. Awesome. I am on LinkedIn. Of course, I live on LinkedIn is my jam. So it is, of course, linkedin.com/IN/ and it's Renée Lindo, RENEE LINDO. And then I'm on Instagram as well at Let's Get Dressed Now. That's my handle. And then my website is letsgetdressednow.com. So you can reach me in those places. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Renée. I've really enjoyed our chat, and finally getting to meet you, kind of met you through the feeds and through some of our mutual connections on LinkedIn, and now here we are.
Yes, it's been awesome, Megan. I'm so excited to speak to somebody in Australia. That's definitely on my bucket list.
Now you've
for
got to
places I
come.
would
You've got
love to
someone to
visit.
visit.
Yes, exactly. This is awesome. I'm telling you, the power of LinkedIn. Amazing.
100%. Power of LinkedIn.
Yes.
And I'm just going to do a shameless plug right now, but I've just launched my LinkedIn program, which is going to start and be live on the 2nd of November. So if anyone else wants to have amazing luck on LinkedIn and meet awesome people like Renée, get in touch with me.
Awesome.
So that's us, Renée. Thank
Awesome.
you so much. And we'll chat soon.
Yes. Thanks, Megan. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks again. Bye.